Now, and it's also present in cereal bars. You know, brown rice syrup is a very popular sweetener. Now, look, bottom line is normally brown rice syrup is a very healthy sweetener. Nothing wrong with it. It's high in mineral content. It's relatively low on the glycemic index and so on. But because these banned pesticides are being used to grow some of this stuff, the high levels of arsenic are being embedded in the soils. And then it's picked up by the brown rice, which tends to pick up a lot of minerals, which include these metals like arsenic. And then that gets into the food. And of course, arsenic, not a very good situation. But when I posted this article, I guess a day or two ago, it's written by Elizabeth Walling, and we got a bunch of flack from people. You know, no matter what toxin we always expose, aluminum in this product, arsenic in this product, pesticides in this product, there's always a bunch of apologists out there who say, don't worry about that. It's okay. You get arsenic when you eat bananas anyway, or you get aluminum from, you know, cooking in your microwave, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's always these apologists who say, a little bit of arsenic, don't worry about it, Joey, you know. But what about the combination? What about all the fluoride, all the heavy metals, all the mercury, all the aluminum, all the arsenic in this case, and you add that into the psychiatric drugs that people are on and the antidepressants that people are on and the pesticides and the formaldehyde venting from the furniture in your own house and the fluorescent lights that flicker and alter your brain function with the flicker rate of the lights. And they have mercury in them too. And you add it all up. And then what do you get? You get total toxic overload. And that's what we're seeing today. That's what we're seeing, the slow euthanization of the American population. Well, it's not just America, it's the whole world. But this is true. You know, this is happening. Babies are being poisoned right now. Now, speaking about babies, children, and food, remember that story about a week ago in North Carolina where that elementary school had the food police out, and they were searching through the bags of the children's little lunch bags brought from home and saying, oh, your lunch doesn't meet USDA guidelines. You don't have a serving of pasteurized dead milk. You don't have a serving of processed meat laced with sodium nitrite, which causes brain cancer and tumors and pancreatic cancer and colon cancer. They said, how dare you bring your lunch from home? Well, that happened a week ago. Now there's been another incident from the same school. A mother has stepped forward, Diane Zambrano. This is reported in The Blaze. Diane Zambrano says her 4-year-old daughter is the latest victim of the food police at the West Hoke, or Hokie Elementary School. I don't know how to pronounce West Hoke, probably, elementary school. Her mom had dared to pack her a lunch containing a cheese and salami sandwich on a wheat bun with apple juice. But no, that didn't conform to the school food police, who are apparently still operating. Instead, she was taken to the cafeteria and fed chicken nuggets. Yeah, chicken nuggets, a sweet potato, bread, and pasteurized, homogenized, dead cow's milk. Oh, because that's so much better than the lunch that her mom packed her. Because, yeah, chicken nuggets, I mean, gee, almost half of the nugget is actually chicken. The other half, I'm not exactly sure what it is. But the chicken half is mechanically separated chicken. You know how you make that? You take a chicken carcass with all the skin and bones and tendons and fat, and you throw it in a giant blender, like a Blendtec or a Vitamix. You blend that up, and it makes a giant pink mass of goo. And then you crush that through a strainer. We should do this on camera one day right here in the studio. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm sure Alex would appreciate that. You crush it through a strainer to get the bones out of it, and then you end up with this pink goo, this mass. You shape it into the shape of a chicken nugget, and you roll it around in some bread, and you fry it in some deep-fried oil that's been used over and over again, week after week after week. And the high temperatures create cancer-causing acrylamides, in addition to the MSG and the other yeast extract taste excitotoxins that are added to the nugget to make it taste like real chicken when it's actually just crushed up, blended chicken carcass. This is USDA compliant? This is what the child must eat at West Hokie Elementary School? Really? Did they forget their own nutrition classes? It's unbelievable. These people are insane. It's not just that. It's not just the chemicals that they're feeding the 4-year-olds in the school. Yeah, there's a picture on screen for those of you watching at Prisonplanet.tv. The mechanically separated chicken looks like a giant taffy snake. It's like a 4-inch diameter just nasty extrusion of goo, chicken goo. Woo, yummy. It's making me hungry right here in the studio. All right, enough of that. I don't want to gross you out. Let's move on to some other news. We published this: green companies with political ties to Obama continue to receive billions of dollars in federal funds. Gee, no surprise there. Hey, if you're a buddy of the White House, you get money, and your company doesn't even have to have a profit. You can just pay yourself salaries and lose money quarter after quarter after quarter, and then eventually go bankrupt by blowing the taxpayers' dollars. That's what you get if you're a buddy of Obama. Here's an example. Venture capitalist Sanjay Waggle, I hope I'm getting his name right. He was an Obama fundraiser in 2008. He went from the private sector to the Energy Department, and his firm, over the next 3 years, the Energy Department provided $2.8 billion in funding to clean energy companies in which Waggle's former venture capital firm, Vantage Point Venture Partners, had invested. So he goes to Washington. First, he fundraised for Obama, goes to Washington, funnels money through the venture capital firm into all these so-called green companies. In all, $3.9 billion in funds were provided to 21 companies with ties to firms who had connections to 5 different administration advisors and staffers of the Obama administration. And how many of these have now gone broke? I don't know the exact number, but it's a large number. It's like every week you read another green company going bankrupt. You know, this is the opposite of the free market, folks. Forget about innovation and entrepreneurship and people who are willing to work hard the American way, you know, to create real jobs, private sector jobs, and hire people and create a superior product and actually have a profit quarter after quarter while you're helping the economy. Forget that. Yeah, I guess that's ancient history in America. Now, the way to get your money is to cozy up to the next corrupt presidential candidate and then get into the Energy Department or the Department of Commerce or whatever the case may be. Get into DHS, get yourself a military contract, take all that money, ride high like a fat cat, blow the money on jet skis and junkets to exotic locations. And then when your company goes bankrupt, just say, oh, must have been the bad economy. We couldn't help it. We tried our best while we were eating lobster in Hawaii, thinking about the new economy. That's the new capitalism. Isn't it sick? Isn't it sick? And meanwhile, the hardworking people out there, like those listening to this show, who are working for a living, are being taxed to death. You know, your productivity is being taken away. Your jobs are being shifted to Mexico and China. You are the ones being punished for your ideas, for having actual innovation, because, of course, the whole plan in this country is to shut down the actual economy, the real economy, and just have everything a centralized, centrally planned, China-like economy where you got to be buddies with the right people in order to get money to do anything. And the rest of you are just going to end up paying taxes like under the French system where it's, what is it, like 87% tax rate? So you live on pennies. That's it. That's what's going on. We still have a few minutes left here, so I'm going to cover more news. Remember, at the top of the hour, we've got Joe Nobody joining us. At the top of the next hour, that's going to be a really great segment, so be sure to stay tuned for that. This is out of The Independent. Experts fear diseases are now impossible to treat. They're talking about the antibiotic-resistant strains, not just MRSA, but E. coli, new strains. Oh, yeah, they've got all new strains for you. It's kind of like version 12 now of these antibiotic-resistant bacteria. And they, of course, were created by the fact that doctors and hospitals abuse antibiotics, and they create an environment in which these bacteria mutate to become resistant. They mutate very quickly. They are creating a superbug weapon almost. It's like the hospitals are the weapon factories to create the superbugs that, if they escape the hospitals, could kill literally tens of millions of people. I'm not trying to scare you about that, because there are natural ways to defend yourself against that. You know, silver lungs, anybody? That's what I would use. But there are lots of ways to defend yourself, but the whole medical system doesn't want to have sanity in the hospitals. They don't want to use probiotics. They don't want to use colloidal silver. They don't want to use copper-plated tables, even though they've been scientifically proven to eliminate or greatly reduce superbug infections. Instead, they want people to be sick. They love the fact that you go in for some chemotherapy and then you come out with kidney failure and then you need kidney dialysis. They love the fact that your psychiatric drug or your antidepressant drug causes diabetes. So then you come back for a diabetes drug and a diabetes treatment. They love it. It's a chain reaction of repeat business that comes from corporations treating human beings like guinea pigs and having no compassion for human life and having absolutely no ethics, absolutely no real sense of what it takes to be an adult human being contributing to a free world. You know, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Why can't we have people like Ron Paul in charge of the politics? Why can't we have real nutritionists in charge of the healthcare system? Why can't we have people who don't want war in charge of a Department of Peace? Go for some global peace. I don't mean not defend our shores. Obviously, let's defend ourselves. And kudos to the veterans who took part in the legitimate defense. But why do we have to go around just mucking up everything all around the world with more war, more pharmaceuticals, more vaccines, more poison in the hospitals, more antibiotic-resistant drugs, or I'm sorry, strains of bacteria because of the drugs? That's what we have today. It's total insanity, and the result is going to be nothing but death, mass death. One more story. British government now considers using nerve agents on their own people. I mean, you would think I'm making this up. It's not April 1. No, it's February 20. And this is real. That the rioters in Britain now could be soon hit with nerve agent chemicals. Yeah, how about a little mustard gas for all you rioters out there speaking out against the Queen? Talking about the Queen gets raw milk, but nobody else can get raw milk. That you're going to get hit with some nerve gas agents, some nerve chemicals, courtesy of the British government. That story, that is from Natural News by D. Holt. Ah, man, I can't even cover all the news. I can't even cover everything that's on Infowars.com or my website or any of the others out there. It's just too much crazy news. But we're going to do our best, so stay with us right here on The Alex Jones Show. We will be right back after this break with more breaking news and a guest coming right up. Stay with us.
I've been telling you about eFoods Direct.
It occurred to me during the break that in every sport, when you have more points, you're winning, right? You know, you score a touchdown, you make a basket, you kick the ball through the goal, you make a point. It's +1 or +7 or +6, whatever the case may be. But in the world of eugenics, the winning score is always a -1. And if you look at Bill Gates and his formula for population control and success, he has P for population, and he's got this formula that he talks about publicly. And when P equals P -1, that's like a victory for Bill Gates. Think about it. Like the more people die, the more they think they're winning, the globalists. That's pretty sick. That's a pretty good indication that something's wrong with that picture. I mean, oh, gosh. What do they cheer when people die in car crashes? They cheer. Like, save the planet. He rolled his SUV over 6 times. Planet's better off. That's some kind of sick eugenics logic. Anyway, okay, the Harvard Microrobotics Lab has introduced or announced a new technology they call the monolithic bee that can allow the creation of swarms of insect drones that